Welcome, Munira. Munira Jiwa is a spring forest Qigong master meditation teacher and founder of a Calgary-based business focused on health and energy balancing. After overcoming chronic pain and other challenges through spring forest Qigong 20 years ago, Munira became passionate about sharing this transformative practice. She now teaches simple yet powerful self-healing techniques through weekly online and in-person classes, private coaching, and workshops for organizations. So please join me in welcoming Munira.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here. How's the volume? All good? Okay. I'm just curious because I've taught and shared Qigong with the group here for a few years now. How many are brand new, completely brand new to Qigong? Never practiced before? Okay. So there's a few newcomers. It's about half and half. So we will experience the practice. This is an experiential practice. So I can talk and tell you all the wonderful benefits it has, but really you need to feel it. It's like tasting an exotic fruit. You can't explain to someone what it tastes like until you taste it. So for today's session, what I'll be doing is just giving you a little introduction to Spring Forest Qigong and focusing on one of the main components, which is sound, so sound vibration. How many of you are closet singers here? Sing in the shower, like to hum. Yeah. What happens when you hum?
Feels good.
You feel good, right? I didn't realize it myself. Throughout my life, I've always been a hummer. And I found that, and I've been singing since I was very young, because it makes me feel good. And I didn't realize at the time, but it's a self-soothing mechanism. So it really helps you soothe your nervous system when you sing, when you hum. And what I'll be sharing today are the Qigong, the Taoist healing sounds. And they are targeting specific organ systems to help balance the energy. So Qigong is an ancient practice. It's been around for many millennia, originates in China, and there are many, many styles of Qigong. The style that I'm sharing is Spring Forest Qigong, developed by Master Chunyi Lin. And he's now currently based in Minneapolis. He studied with many different masters in China, and in a meditation, he got the message to bring it and to simplify it so that it can make it accessible for everyone to practice. So Qigong, the word Qigong, Qi is energy, but it's not just regular energy, it's an energy with intelligence. Gong is to work. So you're working with this intelligent energy that we all have within us to help create a healthy and balanced body, mind, and spirit. There are, as I mentioned, many styles of Qigong. This is a self-healing practice. It's a form of medical Qigong. And the healing that happens is not just at a physical level, it's also mental, emotional, and spiritual. So as Ali was mentioning, I started over 20 years ago, and I was drawn to the practice. Actually, that was a desperation, because I had a lot of pain. I had a lot of chronic neck and back issues. I have a medical background. I was a physical therapist prior, and I tried many different modalities, but I was finding none of the physical modalities were really helping me with long-term relief. So that's how it's funny how when you kind of throw your hands up to the sky and ask the universe for help, what shows up, and it was Qigong that showed up. I'd never heard of it before, but I was willing to give it a try, so I just started off with a video, a video that I would plug in and watch Master Lin, follow him do these really simple movements, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but once I started practicing along, the very slow, gentle movements, everything started to calm down. I started to calm down. My nervous system started to get more regulated. And within a couple of months of practicing, that's when I noticed a lot of the symptoms that I had been experiencing had subsided or completely gone away. So it wasn't just the physical issues, but I had a lot of digestive issues. I'd been suffering from depression. I didn't realize how bad it was until it had lifted. So that's what kind of started me on this path, and this is what I continue to do now because I feel it's a beautiful complementary practice to really any modality. There are 4 key components to the practice. There's the use of the breath, there's visualization, there's simple postures, movement, and sound. in the practice. So I'll give you a little introduction, and we'll experience a little bit of the movement, a little bit of the breath work, and then we're going to chant, and I'll share the Taoist healing sounds, which you all have in your handout, so you can connect with that, so you can have a look at that, and we'll do a chanting meditation at the end, okay? So just to start off with, the first component and one of the most important parts is the breath. So breathing. And it's an art form in Qigong, and I'm going to just run through a little energy breathing practice with you, which I think is so powerful. Because what I've noticed and what I see, especially when people are stressed, when they're in pain, is that they just don't breathe well. So if you can start to become aware of your breath, if you leave here just with that one thing, more breath awareness, that's going to be a game changer. Because even to this day, I still find I hold my breath. So it's an ongoing, it's a lifelong practice, but it all starts with awareness. So to start off with the breath, the breathing practice, energy breathing, before we do, I like to do a little before and after check. So if you can take a look at your hands and just look at the color in your hands, feel the temperature. Just how do your hands feel? And perhaps have a look at your friends. Go right and left, look at their face, their eyes. Okay, we're going to do a pre and post check. Yeah? Okay. And now we're just going to start just sitting comfortably in your chairs, feeling your feet connected to the ground. And take a moment just to settle into your body, softening your forehead, softening your eyes, relaxing the shoulders, and bringing awareness to your breath. Not trying to control anything, just notice, observe. Just invite you to breathe in and out through your nose. I'd like to invite you to bring a little gentle smile on your face. Mona Lisa-like smile, like you have a little secret. When you activate this inner smile, it actually helps to release endorphins, helps you to relax your body even further. Breathing in and out through your nose. Now I'd like you to bring your awareness to an area deep behind your belly button, so deep behind your navel. Imagine a soft light, like the moonlight, shining deep behind your navel in an area called the lower dantian. So dantian is a Chinese word, it means energy center. This is our vitality center. So wherever your mind goes, energy flows. So bringing awareness to your lower dantian. And it's okay if you can't see this light, you just say so in your mind. There is a light in your lower dantian. And now we're going to enhance this breathing technique, visualizing that not only are you breathing in and out through your nose, but you're using your entire body to breathe. You're breathing through your skin. And we are surrounded by an abundant supply of healing energy. We draw it in through our breath and through our intention, breathing in this healing energy through every pore of our skin, collecting it into our lower dantian. As you exhale, you are releasing any aches or pains, any stress or worries, into butterflies or into mist, which leaves your body and returns back to the ends of the universe. Breathing in through your skin, as you collect that healing energy into your lower dantian. As you exhale, transforming any chi blockages in your body into butterflies, into mist, seeing that excess energy leave your body, peacefully returning back to the ends of the universe. Deep and gentle breaths in. Full and gentle breath out. And we can slowly come out of this breathing meditation. Gently opening the eyes. Rub your hands together, palms to palm. And then massaging your face in a heart-shaped pattern. Going up the bridge of the nose, across the forehead, down the side. So this helps bring us out of the meditation. So even if it's a short meditation, you might find you can go quite deep. So this helps to ground our energy, bring this back. And now just take a moment and just notice how you're feeling, just after a few minutes. We didn't spend a lot of time. Sometimes less is more. Just taking some focused breaths, slowing things down, relaxing. And now I'd like to invite you just to have a look at your hands again. Do you notice a difference in the color? I'm showing everyone out there the color of my hands. The temperature. Any shifts? Have a look at your friend's face. Look at their eyes. Look at their face. What do you notice? Any shift? Any change?
My hands are less red.
Less red, okay.
Not quite as hot.
And not quite as hot, okay. Yes?
More peach.
More peachy, yeah? Okay. Anyone notice any temperature changes? Yeah. In your face, in your hands. I'm hot. I might need to do a little wardrobe change because this is all about energy transformation. Energy cannot be created and cannot be destroyed, but it can be transformed. So when we're doing this energy breathing, when we're doing the practice, it's transforming chi blockages. And the way some people can experience it is through heat. So you might notice heat within your body, and it's a different type of heat than when you go and work out in a gym. It's an internal heat. And if you start to feel that, it's not a hot flash, it's good. It's a transformation of energy, and that means things are starting to move. So the whole purpose of the practice is to help balance our energy and to get our energy flowing well so that we feel well. Qigong is one of the pillars of traditional Chinese medicine. It's kind of like acupuncture, but without the use of needles. So we're using these different techniques to help transform blockages, get the energy flowing well so that we feel well. So if you're feeling warmth, sometimes people that are too hot, they'll find this actually helps cool them down. So it's just about balance, whatever the balance that you need. And you may experience tingling, vibration, different experiences for different people. But the kind of overarching thing that people tend to experience is just calmer. They feel more peaceful, they feel more grounded. So I use this technique a lot. My children were 4 and 5 years old when I first started, over 20 years ago, and I was just a stressed out mom. And this is how I would dry them everywhere in my minivan. And then I would just use this technique every time there was a red light. So that's what in the handout that I have shared with you, I call it the red light technique. Because sometimes you just need a little to stack a habit. So red is a great, okay, pause, stop, take a few energy breaths. So when you're doing that several times throughout the day, then there's a cumulative effect, and then you can start shifting the way and starting to become aware of how you're actually breathing. Okay? So that's energy breathing. You can use this as a standalone technique. You can bring it into the practice, which I will now next show you, and demonstrate some of the movement practices. So the big things with the energy breathing is it helps to soothe the nervous system. So it gets you from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. And you start to slow down. It slows down the mental chatter. You start to slow down and deepen your breath. So you're getting great oxygenation of the blood. And again, the big thing is just that, feeling more calm, feeling more grounded. So now we're going to move into the movement component. So with the movement in Qigong, they said with many styles there are different movements that you can practice and learn. There's ones in Spring Forest Qigong just very simple. So you may not seem like you're doing much, but there's a lot going on inside. I call it inner size. So you may not seem like you're doing much outside, but internally there's a lot of movement happening. And because it's so simple, I find people can go in a meditative state. They can go deeper, and it's more accessible. So you're not having to learn. So it's not so cerebral. It's more about feeling into it. And then if something's simple, again, it's more accessible. It's more sustainable. So the exercises can be done sitting or standing. And you know what I'll do? I'll demonstrate this one in sitting, and you can practice along with me. So again, feet shoulder width apart, keeping your spine nice and tall. And roll the shoulders back and down. Each of the postures that we hold in Qigong, each of the movements, they serve a purpose to help redirect the energy flow. So with the first one, what we'll do is just bringing your arms to your sides. Roll the shoulders back and down. And settle into your body. I usually give quite a few cues to remind people to bring the shoulders down. They have a tendency to kind of creep up towards the ears. So bringing the shoulders down, that gentle smile on your face. We're breathing in and out through the nose. Bringing your awareness to your lower dantian, the energy center located deep behind your navel. Deep and gentle breaths in, full and gentle breaths out. As you focus on the light in your lower dantian, you can set your intention for your practice today. Whether it be healing of any particular part of your body or a deeper connection to calmness and peacefulness within, you set your intention. An intention sets energy into motion. And then we say a passphrase in our mind, connecting with universal energy, with source energy. I am in the universe is in my body, the universe and I combine together. You feel the stillness. Feel the quietness as your body and the universe merges together. Now bringing your right hand, your palm will face your upper chest. Your left hand, your palm will face your navel, keeping space between your body and your hands. Take a moment to soften the shoulders, soften your face. Imagine a transparent column of light inside of your body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your torso. Again, it's okay if you can't see this light, you just say so in your mind. There is a column of light inside of your body, nurturing and nourishing your spine and all of your internal organs. Continue to take in those slow and gentle deep breaths. You may start to notice some tingling or warmth in your hands or throughout your body as your energy channels start to open. Moving of yin and yang. Taking your top hand and moving it out, down and away from your body, your inside hand will slowly move up the torso. So you create an elliptical pattern with your hands. The slower that you move, the better it allows you to feel. Focus on the feeling of the flow of energy with your hands. Going at your own comfortable pace. And if you have any shoulder restrictions, you can adapt and adjust the movements so that it's comfortable for you. Feel your spine is lengthening, aligning. And feel your heart is opening and expanding. So you open yourself up to receiving this unconditional healing love energy from the universe. And if you notice your mind starting to wander at any time, just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Come back to this present moment. With kindness and compassion. There's no right or wrong way to do this practice. There's only good, better, and best. Sitting at your own comfortable pace, tuning in to your body's needs. Slowly completing the cycle as you end with both palms facing your navel. For females, right hand in and left hand out. Opposite for men, left hand in, right hand out. Breathing into your lower dantian. Exhale. The way we end, even again a short meditation, we harvest the chi, visualizing that energy ball at your navel, deep behind your navel, is spinning faster and faster, getting brighter and brighter and smaller, turning into a small, happy energy pill, the Dan, which we tuck in deep behind the navel. Please take 3 gentle, deep breaths. As you bring your awareness back to this room and back to your body, and rubbing hands together and massaging your face, heart-shaped pattern, going up the bridge of the nose, across the forehead, down the sides. And massaging your ears. Your entire body is represented on your ears. If you go to an acupuncturist, they'll place needles in different parts of your ears. So as we massage your ears, it's like you're giving your entire body a little energy tune-up. How's everyone feeling? Everyone's ready to sleep? Feeling kind of calmly energized? So ideally with the movement practices, they're best done morning or early evening time, because some people can get quite energized doing the practice, so you may not want to do it just before you're planning to go to sleep. But the energy breathing is an excellent one. If you have a hard time falling asleep, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, many people have turned to the energy breathing, and you just get to that point where you're breathing in this universal calming, healing energy into your lower dantian. Exhale, release. Transform any tension, any stress, any worries. It's a great one to do before you go to sleep. Okay? And now, let's move to the component for sound. So sound, vibration, very healing. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we talk about the 5-element theory, and within our bodies, we are connected with nature, and we have all the elements within us. And now, to just simplify things, what we're going to do is I'm going to just show and explain how each of the organ systems, there's the corresponding color an emotion, and a healing sound that can help support the systems. So when we talk about, first of all, Qigong, the purpose is to help balance the yin and yang energy. And energy flows in our body like how water flows in a river system. It's meant to flow smoothly and harmoniously. However, things can happen within the system that creates blockages and that impedes the flow. So the purpose of the practice is to help transform the blockage and get that energy to flow well. So sound is one of the ways we can do that. The number one cause of Qi blockages in the body, unbalanced emotions. So when you start to become aware of the role emotions play and how it impacts our organ systems, then we know that all emotions are important to experience. It's when they're stuck or stagnant or when we hold on or suppress them that can create and wreak havoc within our systems. So we are going to learn how to bring in positive healing vibrations of emotions and learn what colors and sounds will help support. So I'm going to just go through each of the systems once, and then we'll do a chanting meditation where we'll connect with our organ systems. So just let's start off rubbing your hands together and get them nice and warm. And the middles of your palms, that actually connects to your heart point. And so we're going to place palms and on our liver. So right bottom rib cage area, relax the shoulders. And the liver, such an important system to help with detoxification of the body. So with your inner smile, we're directing energy to our liver, sending our gratitude. And the emotion of happiness helps to transform anger and frustration, which can get caught up in the system. The color green, and the healing sound is She, S-H-E-E. So these are Taoist healing sounds. And you can just chant softly. So we're going to breathe in. Imagine you're breathing in this happy green light into your liver. And then on the exhale, we'll chant. And now placing the palms of your hands on your heart. To support our heart, we breathe in a beautiful red or rose pink colored light filled with joy. Joy helps to transform any extremes of emotions, hatred, jealousy, which can get caught up in the heart system. The healing sound is Ker, K-E-R-R. So breathing in this red light filled with joy. Placing the palms of your hands on your stomach, pancreas, spleen, so middle and left bottom rib cage area. Breathing in a beautiful golden light filled with peace. Peace helps to transform worry, anxiety, overthinking, which can get caught up in the system. The healing sound is Hu, W-H-O-O. So as you breathe in this golden light filled with peace, placing palms of the hands on either side of your ribcage, connecting with our lungs. To support our lungs, our breathing system, we breathe in white light filled with contentment. This helps to transform grief and sadness, which can get caught up in the breathing system. The healing sound is C, S-E-E. So as we breathe in white light filled with contentment. Place your hands on your kidneys. If that's uncomfortable, you can place your hands on your navel. So connecting with our kidneys, supporting our kidney system with a dark blue light filled with gratitude. Gratitude helps to transform fear which depletes the kidney system, depletes our life force energy. So connecting with the healing emotion of gratitude, the healing sound is Chui. So breathing in dark blue light filled with gratitude. Just take a moment, rest the hands on your lap. There are a couple of ways when we do the chanting meditation. You can connect with the organs by placing your hands on them, or you can place hands in prayer posture, and in mind you can direct the energy to the different portions. So I'll give you an option, whichever one you would like to do. I'm going to place my hands in prayer and gratitude posture, gentle pressure between the fingertips, resting my thumbs at my sternum, my breastbone. Roll the shoulders back and down. And with that gentle inner smile, connecting to kindness and compassion. Beginning by bringing awareness to our liver, smiling towards our liver. Breathing in a happy green light. We'll chant each of the sounds 3 times, going at your own pace. So breathing in happiness, smiling back at you. And we direct the light to our heart as we breathe in red light filled with joy. Breathing in joy. Imagining your heart smiling back at you. Now directing the light and our awareness to our stomach, pancreas, and spleen. Breathing in golden, peaceful light. As we chant Hu on the exhale, breathing in peace. Smiling towards our lungs and our breathing system, infusing our lungs with white light filled with contentment as we chant Si on the exhale, breathing in white light. Lungs are smiling. Now we direct the light to our kidneys, infusing our kidneys with that dark blue light filled with gratitude. So we chant Chui on the exhale, breathing in gratitude. Kidneys are smiling back. We now direct the light back to our lower dantian, placing the palms of your hands on your navel as we harvest the chi. And visualizing that chi ball filled with light and good vibrations is spinning faster and faster, getting brighter and brighter and smaller, turning into that small, happy chi pill, the Dan, which we will tuck in deep behind our navel. Please take 3 gentle deep breaths. Bringing your awareness back to this room and back to your body. Rubbing the hands together. And massaging your face. Cup your head from front to back, grounding the energy within your body. Massaging your ears from top to bottom. And just take a moment as we pause. Scanning your body from head to toe and observing, noticing what you're experiencing in this moment. And just bringing hands to heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Now, chanting, for some, it's a different form of humming. And when we chant, you can choose to chant really softly from your heart. And just chant loud enough so that you can hear it. It doesn't have to be out. You can be very stealth about it. You can chant and then you can do internal chanting. So once you've actually felt the vibration, then you can chant internally. So I use chanting just when I'm doing everyday chores, when I'm driving the car. I don't always chant out loud. And I found it very helpful. And one of my students just told me this the other day, where I was sharing how when I was in the dentist chair and getting ready for that needle, notice the immediate, because I don't like needles, but I started chanting "Hu" in my mind. And then immediately I felt this whoosh of peace kind of flow through my body, my shoulders started to relax. And then she used that same technique where she just chanted while she was waiting for test results in the doctor's office. I'm like, aha. So these little tools, you can take any of the sounds and just chant whatever you're being called to or resonate. You don't have to try and connect the dots and go, I need to work on my heart, I need to do this. If there's a sound that's popping out at you, just use it. The "Who" one is one of my favorites. It helps to transform any anxiety or worry. And I'm used to be a self-professed worrier. So it just brings you out of your head into your body, into the present moment. It's very powerful. Again, very simple. But when you start using these tools, we can have lots of tools in our toolbox. It's just remembering to bring them up and use them. When you're experiencing discord or you're feeling, ill at ease within your body, within your mind, come back to the breath. You can chant. Whenever I start to feel the beginning, say of a cold or a sore throat or something, I'll just do one of the movements. I keep it simple, a couple of minutes. I just start moving my energy and I just immediately start to feel it just settles things down. So I used to get everything. 20 years ago, I would get sick all the time. My kids would bring it from daycare and preschool, and then I'd be sick. So my immune system wasn't so great. And after practicing the Qigong, and I also used to get bronchitis twice a year. So for 7 years, I'd always get bronchitis. And starting when I started practicing the Qigong, within a year of practicing, then it stopped, and I haven't had it since. So it's amazing. It is a self-healing practice, but it's not a one-and-done deal. It's a practice. So when people start to feel good, then sometimes they drop the practices. But then life happens, and then the emotions start to get kind of, things happen. So it's just remembering this is always something to come back to. And we've got many tools, but anytime you can slow things down. And what I find amazing is when we start to slow down the movement, again, it slows down all this mental activity, all the chit-chat that's not serving us. And it gets you just, again, from your head into your heart, into your body, and the slowing down of everything. Because some people say, oh my gosh, that's just so slow. I'm like, yeah, it's so slow. When in a fast-paced world, this is what it's very helpful. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an experience. I do have free Qi tips and little videos on my website, and I've put that on the handout. It's just my name, Munira Jiwa BScPT. And I do free pop-ups online. So if you want a little half-an-hour practice, I just did one yesterday with the sounds. So if you go on my website and you'll see, join my next pop-up, and then there's a replay. So if you can't join live, then you can just watch the replay. It's a half-an-hour practice. So thanks, everyone. Thank you for being open.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So we can open it up for some Q&A. If anyone has questions.
Yes.
Yes, at the end where you your chi activated, stimulated more by skating faster and growing the light. Didn't you say something about shrinking it back down? And
Yeah, we're condensing. So the question is, what are we doing at the end of the practice with that Qi ball and making it go fast and get bright? We're condensing the Qi. So when we are practicing the Qi, it expands throughout our body, and at the end we want to collect it to condense it into the Dan. So we visualize the Qi ball, it's condensed form of energy of light, and it spins faster, gets really into a little spark of light. We tuck it deep behind our navel, and we call upon it the next time. When we start our practice, we bring it back, and it expands and grows and gets stronger.
Oh.
Yeah, everything that our body needs to run comes from this. It's our vitality center. So that's why every time we think, wherever your mind goes, energy flows. So when I say, think about your lower dantian, even if you think about your belly button, immediately your energy goes down here. Because how do most people breathe? Up here. But if you think about your belly button, or you take those big belly breaths, then you're directing the energy down there. But it's really important at the end of the practice that we harvest and then condense the Qi and tuck it deep behind the navel. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes?
What other types of Qigong are there?
What other types of Qigong are there? There's so many. There's like martial arts Qigong. Tai Chi is a martial arts form of Qigong. So there's more movement, and it's great for balance. Lots of research to show that. And for people who like more movement, they might like those types, the Tai Chi or martial arts types of Qigong, where you're stretching more. This is more meditative. So many styles. So usually, if you go on YouTube and you check Qigong, there's lots of different styles that you can try. I find some of them, because you're doing more deeper lunges, so it involves a little bit more flexibility, make me a little more challenging. This style is just very simple. Again, accessible. You can do it sitting, standing, lying down. You can do the whole practice in your mind. So I've had people who have been in wheelchairs who didn't have use of their arms or legs, but they would just visualize themselves doing the practice, and they receive benefits. So, yeah, lots of styles.
Question.
Thank you.
The sessions at Parkdale United, are they the Spring Forest Qigong?
Yes. So at Parkdale United Church on Mondays, my colleague Erica Welsh is doing from 10 to 11. So yes, so that's for those who like in person. It's great. Always nice to practice in person. So yeah, and that's just a drop in. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if anybody else has this. What would you call it? I don't want to call it about this type of behavior, but I find that I've got restless legs, and it's usually after I eat, not directly, but maybe 3 or 4 hours. I just seem to have this energy all built up. Now, I don't know whether it's coming from the food or it's coming from some nervous, feelings, and where it's coming from, and I don't know how to get rid of it.
So because I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but from a Qigong perspective, in traditional Chinese medicine, the belief is that whenever you're experiencing any symptoms, so whatever you label it as, whether it's pain, depression, a tumor, all these things manifest because the energy is not flowing well in your body. There's an imbalance. So Qigong helps to balance the energy. And when the energy is flowing well, you may start to notice symptoms start to subside or completely go away.
Yeah, but this seemed to come about, well, maybe 5-6 months ago, and I don't know of anything different that I'm doing, so I'm just kind of curious to see where that extra, is it extra energy, or is it?
We would consider it's an imbalance of energy. So when you're experiencing something new is happening, it's an imbalance in your energy. So a simple way is you do the Qigong, it helps to balance things out. And then when things start to flow well and your energy is flowing more smoothly, then all the different systems, because you have to look at whole healing. So we don't look just at pinpoint one specific area, but it's like, you could have a blockage in your system down in your ankle, which is causing your headaches. You know what I mean? But the idea is with Qigong, it's about whole healing, balancing the whole systems, and then symptoms in different parts start to subside and go away. So I can answer it just from that perspective because I can't go into the medical perspective because I'm not a doctor. But I would, it'd be really interesting to see if you could do an experiment and just start to see when you start practicing regularly, even 10 minutes a day, notice what happens. And the thing is, you're the number one healer for yourself. When you start to practice Qigong, you wake up your intelligence, that energy within us that we all have to help with healing. And then you start to get the ideas. You start to listen to the messages the universe is telling you. Because maybe it has to do with something you're eating, the time of day, or how you're eating, or the emotions you're having while you're eating, like other things. So you start to become more aware in the grander scheme of things of what's contributing to some of the things that you're experiencing. I hope that helps a little bit. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Your introduction. You mentioned that it was a couple of months or so, and I keyed in on that. Was it that you practiced persistently without experiencing any improvement in your crappy life? Or after 62 and a half practices, it went boing?
Great question. So the question is, I had mentioned when I started practicing, it was within a couple of months of practicing daily that I noticed my pains were almost completely gone. And in all honesty, I was just so surprised. It might have actually happened earlier where I didn't have the pain, but I was so intrigued. I was following a half-an-hour video, and I was doing it every day, half an hour. Following Master Lin, doing this practice, and all I knew was that each time I practiced, I just felt lighter, I felt better. And the rest of my life, I was just in the present moment while I was practicing.
From the first one you
experienced because I would do it and I go, I don't know what this is, but it feels good. I felt a buzz in my hands. I felt tingling in my body. So that was just my personal experience. Other people, they stick with it because they're like, they can't explain what it is, but they feel a sense of calmness. It brings them a sense of peacefulness. And then we continue on. So, depending on if you have bigger blockages, if you have chronic conditions, it may take longer. Everyone's different, everyone's unique. But you might notice, you might come in with a specific want or an expectation, but you'll start to notice improvements in other areas of your life. So the pain wasn't the first thing I noticed. The first thing I started to notice, I just felt lighter and brighter. So it almost felt like the depression had lifted.
From when?
I can't tell you what date, because 20 years ago, all I know is I always felt happier. I felt happy. I felt like soon after practicing, I started to feel lighter and brighter. And after being in this kind of sunken state for so long, it was a relief. And so I kept practicing because I felt better. It felt good.
1/2 hour.
I was doing a half-hour practice at that time, but I can't give you a prescription to say if you practice 3 minutes every day. But what I can tell you is that you try it and start listening to your body's need. You tune into what your body's telling you. This is one way. Qigong is, one tree in a forest of modalities. And I'm still passionate about it 20 years because I still have things, and I'm human, and I find myself getting caught up in things, and then I'll start to notice, oh, this is starting to hurt a little bit, or then I get kind of redirected back on track. So it's my way, one way. Thank you. Hi. Yes.
Thanks so much for your lecture. I'm from Korea, the East. I spent all my life in my country. I just arrived here 2 months ago.
Welcome.
So, but it is my first time to learn about the Qigong, even if it is from the East. So it is very particular and interesting for me. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And I just wanted to the concept of Qi or Yin Yang are very abstract thing. So it's not scientific. On the surface, it seems like scientific. Have you ever felt some resistance to accept the concept of Qi or Yin Yang? It's very abstract thing. So if so, how did you overcome the resistance?
So
that's my first thing.
Yeah.
And the second one is, do you have ever experienced the effect of Qigong on mental illness patients or panic disorder, depression? That's my question.
Yeah. So the first question is, have I experienced resistance with the concepts of yin and yang, energy and qi, because they're quite abstract?
You cannot weigh the qi. You
Yeah.
cannot see that visible. So how can you accept the concept of it?
So how did I accept the concept is because I felt it, and the changes happened within me were just so transformational. So I'm hooked. I'm all in. And yeah, it's a challenging concept to explain, especially when you're more in the scientific field. So really, the beauty in Qigong is about feeling it. And there is more research that is coming out now with Tai Chi Qigong and how it's helping, with cortisol levels, reducing cortisol levels, helping with sleep. There's so many different things showing scientifically how it's working, but you can't explain Qi, you can't see it. But the difference between when we're looking at, an animate body and an inanimate is that the one that's animated, there's qi flow. So it's a hard concept, to explain. But for me, it's about feeling it, and then you learn to trust, and then you start to tune in and understand that yes, we have this beautiful capability to help ourselves to heal. And all the healthcare providers are great. They're a support team. So, but you can't give the power away. You have to take ownership and to tune in, listen to your body. Sometimes, I wasn't listening. Listening for me was I wasn't listening to the little things that were happening, the little aches and pains, until they became bigger aches and pains. And then things happened where I had to stop because I couldn't function. I couldn't move well. And unfortunately, people go to that length right before they start to rest and start to listen and do the things that will assist them with their health and their healing. So so that first question about the buying in of yin and yang theories, and it's becoming more and more prevalent. Right, you're hearing more people are hearing about Tai Chi. There's Tai Chi walking now everywhere on Instagram, but it's just understanding. It's coming. It's slow to come. It didn't make the same type of splash as yoga did, coming into the Western world, but it is slowly making its way, and it is a powerful self-healing practice. So I always encourage people. Tell your friends, your family, your healthcare providers. If you're practicing, you're noticing a difference. Because I have had students who, they've been able to wean themselves off their blood pressure medications or pain meds. Obviously, you do this in conjunction with your doctors. And then your other question actually was about, with mental health and depression. So it helped me with my depression. And with mental health, it helps. One of the things that is important if you're working with people that have mental health issues is that they are practicing in a well-lit room, not a dark room, and then they practice with eyes open. So that's there's no other contraindications other than just being aware of those kind of caveats. Yeah. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? How's everyone feeling? Are you ready to sleep, or are you ready to go for the marathon?
It's interesting, I feel calm and refreshed.
Calm and refreshed, yes. Yes. And because we do this in the evening, I'm always so curious to how people sleep. So maybe tomorrow you can send an email to Phil.
Not in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Not in the middle of the night, yeah. It is a calming yet energizing practice, and it impacts so many areas of your life. So not just physical, but mental, emotional, spiritual. I notice my relationships, everything balanced out. Because I used to think, I think when you're in a depressed state, everything is relative and everything else was seeming so fast. And I thought my kids had ADD. They were just young boys with lots of energy. That's all they were. But, when you're in that state, it's just how you're perceiving the world. So it changed how I perceived everything. It changed my relationships. And I got to tell you, when I first started practicing, my soccer game was just like phenomenal because I was in the zone. So it can help you if you're playing pickleball. There's pickleball players out there. I'm saying that not jokingly because it just helps you be in the zone and helps prevent injuries. If you do have injuries, it helps with the healing aspect of it. So you'll just find you're just more aware of your body and how you're holding and carrying yourself through life. So just be aware of how it impacts so many other areas of your life too. Any other comments, questions? Yes?
Just an interesting comment. The first exercise you did with us was I guess breathing through the skin and releasing.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I felt like I had done restorative yoga. I had exactly the same sensations.
Okay.
And then the second one with the tube of light.
Yes.
When you did that with us, I felt like I just had acupuncture. It's really strange.
Interesting. Yeah. You kind of did, yes. Yeah, and again, you just experienced a little demo, a little taste of it. So, and some people are more sensitive to energy than others, so you can experience and feel, it's like you've had this acupuncture treatment, you feel a buzzing or vibration throughout the body. So that means things are opening up, that's great. Yeah, and the energy breathing, again, it's so powerful. And when you can think of breathing in through your skin and you're drawing in this healing, nourishing energy through every pore of your skin, collecting it into your lower dantian, exhale, release, transform any extra energy. I've had many students, again, in classes, they'd come in with some ache or pain, or they've had a headache, they left with it cleared. So just through energy breathing. So again, slow, gentle, little simple practices, but they make a huge difference. So just remembering, and that's why you just have to create a habit and a consistency and remembering which tool. Then your breath is your most powerful tool that you have. So when you can start to be more aware of how you're breathing and breathing more consciously, it's a very powerful technique. And someone had a hard time visualizing, breathing through the skin. So one visual that came to me was, remember Mr. Potato Head? The nose. So take out the nose, now multiply it how many trillions of times. Think of a nose in every pore of your skin. When you're breathing in, think of the nostrils. Flaring out, drawing in, bringing in that energy, and you're just directing it all here. It's just so like when you think of the whole surface area, bringing that in. And it can be very energizing too. So if you're feeling tired, just try some energy breathing. Instead of reaching for the Java, a cup of coffee, try some energy breathing and you'll be amazed again at how it can really, it's refreshing, it's calming. Again, your breath is your best friend.
So I may have missed something here, but you talked about the relationship with the parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system.
Yes.
So we have the sympathetic, which activates you, and the parasympathetic that relaxes you. And we know that the parasympathetic arm is the exhalation. And did I miss, there was no emphasis on the exhalation being longer than the inhalation in the energy breathing. Was that?
Yeah, so I didn't mention it,
that?
but you're just breathing, but everything does start to slow down. It starts to happen on its own accord, even with the movement, and I don't know if you noticed with the chanting, the exhalation is much longer than the inhale. So it's happening on its own accord, and that's how you're getting into the parasympathetic.
So there's no intentional
You're not intentionally
emphasis.
counting. No, and yeah, and sometimes I will in the beginning when we start or bouncing, I'll say allow your exhales to be a little bit longer than your inhale. But then you're thinking about it. But eventually, as you start practicing, you're no longer aware of how you're breathing. You're just in the present moment, and your breathing rate, like, it drops significantly. So you can go from 15, 20 breaths down to 6 to 10 breaths per minute, and we know that that has a huge healing effect.
Right.
Right? So, yeah. But especially the chanting is where I really notice, like, if you can exhale like that, and just think of how much energy is stuck because you're not fully exhaling. When normally, so most people who are holding our breath, we're not really fully releasing and exhaling. So other techniques that when you're counting, that really helps you to become aware of that. So, but when you chant, you're just naturally, you can just let it all out. So, Yes.
Maybe it's probably a stupid question.
Never.
To me, the difference between joy and happiness seems to be a really great line. What's the difference between joy and happiness?
Just the difference between joy and happiness. It's with happiness, the way we explain it is sometimes you attach to something, so a memory or an object or something. You're connected to that happiness, and then you let that go. Joy is a deeper sense of happiness. It's happiness for no reason.
Oh, okay. So happiness is with intention, joy is happiness.
Yeah, you start off with an intention, and it's just the frequency and vibration of them. There's a subtle difference, but it's like the subtlety is within the attachment of it, and it's just that the vibration of happiness. When I would lead you through the 5 elements practice, I would say think of something that makes you happy. So think of something that brings a smile to your face. So you connect with that. Maybe it's your grandchild. Or a walk in nature. So you connect with that, and then you're training yourself, because whatever you focus on magnifies. So you train yourself to focus on that vibration, and then that vibration you're bringing it in, and it's helping with your liver system. And then when we move to the heart, I would say, okay, and now breathing in joy. And joy is happiness for no particular reason. So it's a deeper sense, pervasive within that.
So happiness is triggered with thought, and joy is just a natural state.
It can be.
Unnatural, but a state.
Yeah. So and it's just a way of training ourselves, because we're hardwired to go in the other direction. So we're learning. You're strengthening your happiness muscle, your joy muscle, your peace muscle through focused concentration and repetition. So when I actually do the practice, I would say, okay, breathing in joy, thinking of joy, and then go silent. But I didn't go into all of that today. But when we're doing that, because we just want to become aware of how powerful emotions are and what role they play in our health and healing. How you think affects how you feel affects how your energy flows. So you're training yourselves to focus on the positive healing, but you don't neglect or just suppress, because all emotions are important. So anger serves a purpose, right? Rage serves a purpose. But it can only, you don't want to over-focus on it, and you don't want to suppress it, because it's meant to flow. When things are not flowing, or when they're suppressed, and that's when that contributes to those energy blockages. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Great questions. Yes?
I liked how you explained the difference between joy and happiness. Can you do the same magic with peace and contentment?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have to think about that a little, because there's a subtle difference. Peace and contentment. Contentment's almost like ease. You're just feeling at ease. And peace is a state. I resonate a lot more when I talk about just bringing an overall sense of peace to everything that we're doing. So I can't answer that very well right now, but I don't know if either of you have a good answer for peace and contentment to differentiate.
Just to make one comment about that joy and happiness, I think what Munira is trying to say is that one is dependent, happiness, on something to make you happy. Joy is independent of something to make you joyful. You see the difference?
Yeah, so peace and contentment.
Well, I look at contentment as joy. I see it as being independent of something external to make me happy. I'm just content with what is. So I look at joy and contentment as being equivalent. I may be wrong, but that's just the way I see it.
I will actually, yeah, and you know what, I'll do a little bit more research to see if I can get a better answer. But from my understanding, it's, again, even just thinking the word joy, it's not even if you're feeling it, but joy, peace, every word, every thought has a signature frequency vibration, and it matches the organ systems. So, but to answer more, like how do you distinguish the two, I will have to get back to you on that. But I will. Yeah.
It's amazing, no matter how long we live, we're always trying to figure out our emotions.
Yeah. I would add one thing. So, for me, peace is more of a state, and contentment is associated with a sense of renunciation, right? So letting go of things and being able to drop into a state of peace, and then maybe joy. So to me, contentment is more about letting go and renunciation, and having sort of maybe a deep understanding that the mind just wants to be concentrated, right? It just wants to be able to relax and concentrate. That's all it really wants.
I can see contentment and happiness being a response to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And peace and joy being an innate state.
Yeah.
And contentment is somewhat limited to an event or happening, whereas joy is pervasive. It comes from within.
Yeah, contentment can be
It's always
dependent.
associated with something out there, but joy is something that comes.
Yeah, great.
I think of contentment as much closer to neutral. A joy is a really elevated state.
Great. Okay, well, thank you so much. Always a great discussion. Thank you so much, Munira. Thank you for your generosity and for sharing with us
Oh, thank you
this
all.
wonderful
Yes.
practice.